Hey everybody, today we have a puzzle of New York History Over Time puzzle, a 4D cityscape time puzzle. Has 3 layers, Coon's time poster, 100% history. Let me tell you some history about New York. Currently, they're Nazi York. Also, because of all the liberalism going on there. Another historical thing about New York is there's Ellis Island, where all the legal immigrants come and came from the past. They were legal. We need to keep. I'm all for legal immigration, but what these current immigration that's going on is illegal immigration. Yep. Anyway, coming over here illegally. Another great thing about New York that's historically true. Our great president, who they're trying to frame for treason, Donald J. Trump, lived in New York. And all the liberals are hypocrites that live in New York. If you don't like Donald Trump, stop living in one of the buildings that him or one of his businesses helped build. Move out. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump built some of these buildings or remodeled some of these buildings or something of that nature. You're a bunch of hypocrites if you live there. If Donald J. Trump is so evil, why are you going to live in the building that he had? So you have multiple layers. You got the jigsaw layer, New York City to 1700s. There's the layer 2, New York City to present day. Then there's layer 3 where you put the models and replicas of buildings down. So it's pretty cool what to do. I mainly got it so I could have all these cool models. Because if you just, look through here, you'll see that there's like loads of these little models here. They're literally everywhere. Check them out. There's hundreds of them. They're all over the place. I thought I could use them for like Monopoly or other board games, that have models that need houses and hotels and whatnot, and use these as skyscrapers or whatever instead of using houses and hotels. I think my favorite is in here. It's actually Liberty Island or Ellis Island or whatever with Statue of Liberty. I think I would want to keep that and have that as a, I don't know. You could have it as its own little territory or something for some game. The rest of it I don't really care for, but if it's selling for a lot of money online, I'm definitely going to, instead I'm going to keep it and I'm going to show it off. But really, that's the main thing I got it for was the things. So here's how New York is supposed to look back in, the day. This is what New York looked like. So you build this first, and then this is what New York currently looks like. So then you build this. So then you build another layer on top of that layer. And you got the Bronx over here too. Queens. So this looks like you got this island, that island, Hudson River, East River. Pretty cool. So I might keep that little documentation. Here's all the different cities that are in, or not cities, buildings that are in the game. So I suppose you could use these buildings in Risk or Conquest type games and use the buildings for that particular thing, use them as cities or whatever. So first step 1, step 2, then you start putting down the buildings. It's pretty cool. Also happens to have this nice little New York City timeline diagram here, where you see every building. Like you got building 1 through 132 buildings. That's a lot of buildings. This goes up to 2015. Maybe some new buildings since then. But you got New York City Hall, Federal Hall, American Museum of Natural History. Starts in 1811. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, Brooklyn Bridge, Statue of Liberty. The golly, I can't read some of these. Words are hard. The Fullerton Building, the Williamsburg Bridge, the Whitehall Building, the Manhattan Bridge, the Queensboro Bridge. Yeah, there's a lot of bridges. What is there, like 12, 13 bridges or something? 9 bridges or something? They had a movie that was named out by all the bridges. Bankers Trust Building. Didn't take too long for the banksters to come along. Only 1912. That's one of the first buildings. Damn. The Woolsworth Building, the Grand Central Station. So the first buildings are the government, then art, then it looks like bridges, and then it looks like the banksters start coming along. And then you finally have the Grand Central Station, Municipal Building, Equitable Building, Transportation Building, the Paramount Building, New York Life Building, again, banksters, New Yorker Hotel, and finally we're getting around to the hotels now, Commerce. So you can see how things are developing. The Grinchworth Club, the Mercantile Building, Hotel Parade, Trump Building, 1930, Trump! Woohoo! Trump! The Chrysler Building, the San Remo, George Washington Bridge, Empire State Building, 20 Executive Place, 500 Fifth Avenue, Bank of New York Building, 570 Luxembourg Building, Wardroff Astoria, 120 Wall Street Building, where there's been loads of corruption from Wall Street, that's for sure. American International Building. If anybody should be raiding something, New York City, the federal government should be raiding the whole city of New York for all its crimes. The GE Building, International Carter Center Building, Federal Office Building, Thurgood Marshall's house. Thurgood Marshall, man, that was like one of the Supreme Court justices and stuff. That's cool. The Museum of Modern Art, MetLife Tower, the United Nations Building. We could do without that organization. We could find something better to do with the building, for sure. We don't even need the United Nations in America. Kick them out! If FBI should be raiding something, how about they raid the United Nations building? That's a real place they should be raiding. Seagram Building, I think that's Seagram Building, Gargantuan Museum, 2 Broadway Building, J.P. Morgan Chase World Headquarters. If the FBI needs to raid something, they need to raid all the bankster buildings. The banksters. That's the people that need to be raided. 60 Bureau Broad Street Building, including that the Wall Street Building. 1 Chase Manhattan Plaza. The MetLife Building. 206 Park Avenue Building, Jacob K. Jartis Federal Office Building. Yeah, those federal office buildings, they probably need rated too. No telling what kind of secrets they'll find in those federal government buildings. For real. The HSBC Bank buildings, General Motors building, Madison Square Garden, One State Street Plaza, 345 Park Avenue building, One New York Plaza, Burlington House building, Paramount Plaza building, One Battery Park Plaza, 2 New York Plaza building, to 1251 Avenue of the Americas, 919 3rd Avenue building, J.P. Stevens Company Tower, the World Trade Center 1 and 2. They're on here. They're not around anymore because, they're just not around anymore. Because I don't know, some kind of conspiracy probably. To get us in a war. The Middle East and terrorism. To take away, to create the Homeland Security. To make the federal government's police powers more powerful. Also to create the a really bad invasion of our rights through the that act, the act that they created. Who was involved in that? Oh yeah, the FBI was involved in that too. Oh, and Bush. Why aren't we raiding Bush's house? I bet he's got some good info. Maybe some secret documents to tell you why he destroyed why he did what he did to the World Trade Centers and stuff. One Penn Plaza building, one Astor Plaza, 55 Water Street building, one Liberty Plaza, Verizon building, 130 Liberty Deutsche Bank, the Solo building, 3 Park Avenue building, the Citigroup Center building, National Westminster Bank, Park Avenue Plaza, 101 Park Avenue Plaza, 520 Madison. Oh, this is cool. It tells you how tall these buildings are, too. I just saw that. 520 Madison Avenue building, the Goldman Sachs building, 783rd Avenue building, the Continental Center building, Trump Tower building. Trump, he's on there again. Woohoo! Trump! Man, he was all the way back there at 1930 Trump building. Then he has Trump Tower over here, 1983. Woohoo! Man, Trump rules. Best president ever. In modern day history, at least in my lifetime, anyway, for sure. No matter what the lies the liberal media tries to say about him. Lies! I tell you, lies! Freaking lies. New York Marriott Mercury, the Sony Tower, the Jacob K. Jarvis Convention Center, United Nations Plaza Tower. What do they need a building and a Plaza Tower for? They don't need that shit. They need to get out of America. Leave United Nations. Anti-American globalist motherfuckers. Get the fuck out of America. Love it or leave it. Get the fuck out. Anyway. Lipstick Tower. World Financial Center 1 through 3. If the FBI needs to raid something, it's definitely there. For sure. You quit. World Financial Center 4. 590 Lexington Building. ARCSA Center. Metropolitan Tower. 1 Financial Square Building. 75 Wall Street Building. That building probably needs rated too. With all that Wall Street stuff going on. Cities Fire Center Building. 17 State Street Building. Central Park Plaza Building. 750 of 7th Avenue Building. 1 Worldwide Plaza. Or 1 World Plaza. I think that's where the city government works at. Which probably should be rated. 80 Wall Street, Morgan Stanley Building, the Swiss Bank Tower Building. They probably find some secrets in that Swiss Bank Tower Building. They probably should be raided too. I mean, we did hire 80,000 IRS agents. They need to raid all of New York City. All of it. But there's all kinds of evil corruption and stuff going on in New York. New York, New York! Anyway. the Barrett's Mill Building, the 712 Fifth Avenue Building, Carnegie Hall, the Tribeca Tower Building, Millennium Hilton Hotel, Four Seasons Hotel, Condé Nast Building, West Times Square, Trump World Tower. That's three Trumps. Three. Man, Trump's got it all going on, man. Woohoo, Trump. Go Trump. Woohoo. Trump. Yeah. Trump. That's 3 times Trump's been mentioned on this, man. Y'all New Yorkers, y'all are oh my gosh, y'all Nazi York New Yorkers, liberals and stuff. If y'all hate Trump so much, y'all need to blow up all 3 of these buildings. Y'all need to stop using them. Yeah. Any of these buildings that Trump's companies did repairs on or built, which would include the United Nations, y'all got to blow them up because they evil because they tainted with the Trumpsters. You can't let any of them. Y'all a bunch of hypocrites if y'all gonna live in any of them. Y'all hypocrites if you're gonna live in any of them. Y'all hypocrites if y'all gonna let them in your city. You a bunch of hypocrites. The Bear Street, the Bear Streams World Headquarters, the Renters Building. Oh no, we gotta remove the World Trade Centers because the evil globalists had them destroyed. And those globalists happen to have connections with the FBI, Bush, CIA, American government, and they still have connections with them today. Conspiracy or coincidence that the United Nations is in America and in New York City? Yeah. 5 Times Square Building, the Winston Hotel Building, Random House Building, 125 Fifth Avenue, Time Warner Building, Times Square, where for some reason we drop a ball every year at New York time. The 7 World Trade Center, Hearst Tower. Oh yeah, that media guy created the Hearst, the big media magnate, who I believe, if you believe the conspiracies, which are true, he's the one I think that got us into World War I or World War II or something by his big article about the sinking of some ship, which he probably had blown up himself. Conspiracy truths. Believe the conspiracies. Yeah. Herbert Hurst. A building dedicated to him. The Orion, New York Times Building, the Berkeley Tower Building, the Bank of America Tower, the Goldman Sachs World Headquarters. Where are all the world headquarters of all these banks located in New York City? Man, this place is full of globalism. I mean, we could do without this city. I mean, if China is going to ever blow up any city and nuke, if they just want to nuke one city, it could be New York for sure. With all the banksters and globalist powers and corruption and crime and whatnot going on in New York, a lot of blue collar and white collar crime, probably for sure. Berkeley Tower Building, the Bank of America Tower, Goldman Sachs World Headquarters, the Beckman Tower, the One World Trade Center, which I believe that was put on top of the other World Trade Centers, the World Trade Center towers, the Greenwich, 150 Greenwich World Trade Center 4, 175 Greenwich World Trade Center 3, 200 Greenwich World Trade Center 3. For more information on each building, go to www.4dcityscape.com. On the back. On the back. That's a waste of a back. Anyway, so yeah. So there's like all these puzzle pieces and all these buildings. Kind of cool. I mean, if it's worth something, I might not. I think I'd rather have the buildings though. I'm not sure. I got another one of these. It's Game of Thrones. It's supposed to look like this when you're done, I guess. You even put the bridges down. That's kind of cool. It's like it says 4D. It kind of is like 4D because you remove like one. The first layer is just a jigsaw puzzle of old New York, and then you put a foamed jigsaw puzzle on top of that. Then you put the the buildings on it. So that's what they mean by 4 dimensions. I think also it means time lapse is a type of dimension. You got the dimension of time in history, and then you got the 3 dimensions of the the flat land, and then the growing over the raised up, and then the buildings on top of that, which is 3 dimensions. But with the addition of time, that's a fourth dimension. So they're breaking through the fourth wall, and maybe I'm breaking a fourth wall by going into while breaking the fourth wall. That's like 16 walls. Anyway, remember, God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Keep on gaming. Keep on collecting. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I got another puzzle that's like this. That it's Game of Thrones. It does this too, and I'm not sure if I want to keep it. It depends on how much it sells for, on whether I keep it or not. I found these at like the thrift store. I mean, if it sells for a good amount of money, I'll try to sell it. But this one, I kind of like all these cool buildings. It's pretty cool. I think I can use them for, like I said, skyscraper, hotels, whatever, and Monopoly type games, or like implement cities into like the Risk type games so that they represent like a city, and a city has like a special like bonus rule, or implement cities in like, I don't know, Axis and Allies or some game like that. Create a new special city rule where it's a little harder to take over a city. You'd have to build them, but still, pretty cool. I mean, the cities that are already there would automatically get, you would automatically put a building there to represent the city, but then you could build additional cities as well as meaning. That would be cool. Hope you like this. New York, New York. Also, I like to call it Nazi York because liberals, communists, socialists, scumbags like them, Nazis. They're the real Nazis. Anybody who tries to tell you Nazis are not socialists are retarded, because Nazi literally meant National Socialist Party. Nazis are socialists. Fascists were also socialists and communists, just different flavors of it. And fascists want to create a bunch of brown shirts. They want to have a police, military. They want to have a big police and military, but they want the federal government to be in control of that police and military. Who's like that? Oh yeah, the Democrats. Because the Democrats want to create their own army, IRS, their own army as the FBI. They're going to use to raid their political opponents, even if that political opponent was a former president of the United States. It ain't about no declassified documents, y'all. It ain't about it. It ain't about classified documents. It ain't about declassified documents. It's about them being scared. It's about United Nations Agenda 2030. They only got 8 years to take over the world and make one world government. They know that a red wave and a Trump presidency will MAGA them out of the way. And if that happens, then we're looking at World War III. They're either going to try to push a civil war, a World War III type situation, or something to try to get to this Agenda 2030. They have to have the blues win because a blue wave is a socialist wave. A blue wave is a communist wave. A blue wave is a Nazi wave. A blue wave is a fascist wave. A blue wave is a globalist wave. That's why. Anyway, remember, God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Keep on gaming. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And puzzle on.